Hello, everybody. Welcome to Weighted to Win. It's wonderful to have all of you join our show. Thank you so much. And I can tell you that in terms of form, they Weighted to Win have been in really good form. Thank goodness for that. I must tell you, the pick sixes have been rolling in. We've got a 72,000 Rand pick six on Tuesday. I think it was 35 times your money. We got double your money Wednesday, double your money Thursday. Touch wood, the form continues. We won it again, as you can see. So that's great to know. Doesn't happen often, and every now and then we get lucky, and that's the most important thing at the end of the day. Join us on Twitter if you do. If you've got that account, we at Weighted to Win. That's our handle. Otherwise, 4racing.tv. We've also got a WhatsApp number. You can join us there as well. Otherwise, you can watch us race by race clips too on our streaming channel. Good to have Gabriel Soma and Daryl Marie in the studio. Gabriel, lovely week for you. Great wins on Thursday with the horses you had with Joe. Congratulations, and must be very excited.
Yes, thanks for having me again, Clyde. I really appreciate it, and well done to the team for the way they've been tipping. A lot of effort goes into the form studying. It's not as if we come here and just guess our way through. So I hope it's appreciated by all the punters, and just congratulations on that. It was a lovely week from our side. Philly won a fantastic race, and the future looks good.
Certainly does. Gabriel Soma got a horse for us later on in the day as well that they like from the Soma stable. But let's talk about the first, Gabs. Let's go straight there. I can give you an indication from a market perspective in terms of what they're suggesting here about race number one. And, well, Quantum Theory is 9 to 10. It's odds on. Second choice, Intoxicating, 5 to 2. Is it a one-horse race?
I think so, Clyde. I think he'll be a very hard horse to beat. The form of his 2 runs is phenomenal. The horses he beat last time went on to run in the Group 2 on July Day, and they looked pretty good in the race. I mean, they didn't disgrace themselves, and I think he'll take all the beating. He's well above average. Moosey's made no secret about what he thinks of the horse, and as I say, he'll take all the beating. Acorn, I make the danger, number 1. He's also a nice colt. He had no right to win last time out. He got there. He'll enjoy going over the 1400, and he's a horse for your exacta. Intoxicating must have a chance, but what I don't like is that she was reported not striding out. That's just under a month ago, so that concerns me. So for now, I'm going to stick with the Colts Quantum Theory from Acorn.
Yeah, you would think Daryl Acorn, a nice horse, but perhaps not from what we've seen in Quantum Theory's league just yet.
He might not be, Clyde. I think certainly Quantum Theory's got stronger form lines. You know, I'm not saying Destiny of Souls or Mojive aren't decent performers. They're going to win their races, but just strictly on paper, I think Quantum Theory's got stronger form lines. His debut was behind Thunderstruck. He went and won the gold medallion. Last time out, he held off Laguna Verde, who ran fourth in the Golden Horseshoe. We also had Argo Alley and Thunderstone in the Golden Horseshoe. He's got course and distance experience. But Acorn could be a different animal on the standside track and over this distance. So I've got healthy respect for Acorn because he did finish that race off extremely well.
All right, well, let's get into action. What are we doing on the bets? We're going to have a look at the first race. Quartet is our plan. Yeah, we're going to go bank a 2. It's a multiple, so let's bank the favourite by 147, by 147, by 147. Take it as many times as you can afford. Just hold your camera up to that code. It'll take you straight to the URL website. It says, take this bet. Hopefully you've registered on Tab for Racing, and if you do that, it does it for you automatically. It's so easy. We've got a rerun. This is when Quantum Theory was last in action. Let's go and have a look at it if we can. There's Quantum Theory on the rail over there in the pink colours. Watch that. Laguna Verde's in the orange in the middle. And that's the horse that does run on quite strongly in the closing stages of the race. Argo Alley is in there too, of course, in the green colours. And Mercantor, who's in the yellow cap just behind, is the horse who does get squeezed out when Laguna Verde starts to hang. But we're focusing on this horse, Quantum Theory, who is at the rail. There you see Laguna Verde hangs. Mercantor has to take up. But these are decent horses. Quantum Theory holds on. We think it'll win again. Race number 2 on the card. Let's get into it now. And none other odds-on favourite when we were recording the show was at 8 to 10 when we looked. And the guys have looked at it too, Gabriel Soma and Daryl Marie. And I'm assuming everyone's in agreement that this should be at this price.
I think so, Clyde. Her form line is definitely the best form lines on offer here. She finished 3rd in a mini feature in the last start. And prior to that, she had finished 3rd in the Fillies Nursery. I always do respect horses that are unbeaten. Barmaid is unbeaten. She won a good race first time out. But what I can tell you is the form line's pretty weak. 6 runners out the form line, 1 horse has come out to run a place, and it was a distance behind. So on that, I cannot see her beating none other. Trentino is also a nice filly, has to be respected to finish in the money. But again, couple of lengths behind none other on form, and I'll be very disappointed if none other doesn't win and win well.
None other for Gabriel Sommer, hard to beat. Daryl, same page?
Absolutely, Claude. And Gabriel, that filly that ran a dirty fourth was unyielding, who ran behind Rock the Fox, who ran behind none other.
Correct.
So on form, she's certainly a pointer, Claude. But Barmaid's a lovely, big, strong filly. She should get the run of the race from the one draw. But like Gabby touched on, that form line is very, very poor. None other on form will take a power beating. The fillies that just finished behind her last time out ran well beyond Feather Boa in that Bloodstock Sales race. So they acquitted themselves well in KZN. We all in none other's camp here.
Okay, well, we've got a bipot for you that we want to quickly show you. Here is what it looks like. It goes banker 3, the obvious one, by 5, 7, 8, 10, by 2 and 8, by 5, 6, 13, 14, by 2 and 8, by 4, 5 and 6. It's a 192 Rand perm, so get that bipot on. Okay, don't forget that Gabby Somers also made none other one of the best on the card. Here's a look at what we want to watch. None other in Mary Slack's colours, the black body and the red cap. Got to get to Maharani, who's in front there. And, Maharani, perhaps some will say fighting at Greyville wasn't her run, but we know how good she is. When she sprinted up the 1400 heel here, Maharani, watch how she gets a fright at the end there from the shadow. None other, though, is not going away. She's quite decent. She stays on quite well. And there are a couple of other horses that have come to frank the form. It's a strong line, and they're very confident with none other. We're now on the third race. Let's get into it. It's a maiden class field, and they'll run them up the straight, 1160 metres on the turffontein stand side track. Let me just tell you about the betting when we're doing the show on Friday. That Love Me Again, Paul Peters' horse, 12 to 10. Second choice, number 5, Burgess at 4 to 1. Also, this horse Ignatius, number 7 on the card, is at 4 to 1. And then 8 to 1 about another first timer called Run for Cover. Know anything about the first timers, Gabs?
Unfortunately not, Clyde. So I can't give you much confidence there. There are some well-bred horses. I think the best thing to do is watch them go down to the start, watch the betting. If there is betting support for them, definitely include them because this is not the strongest race. Of the horses that have run, Love Me Again ran second 9 days ago. It's not ideal that the horse is having his second start 9 days later from the bend up the straight. He's got to be included, but the form's not the strongest. It was quite a weak field, so I'd be suspect and I wouldn't be taking 12 to 10. Burgess is probably the horse to beat. He ran second to Pinch Hit. The third horse in the race was Spielberg, who came out to win pretty comfortably yesterday, so form looks good. And then there's a horse at 25 to 1. Don't leave out your pick sixes. Let Me Go. Back up the straight. His first 2 runs were up the straight. 2 very good runs. He's got the blinkers fitted, and at 25 to 1, put him in all your bets and have a few rand on the places.
Okay, so we'll watch out that Mark Kahn riding there for-way Mowing on Let Me Go, perhaps worth including. What, Daryl's your take?
This favourite's a crazy price, Claude. He had a horse like Full Go just behind him. I know he would have been a winner in another stride and he would be out the maiden ranks, but he had Full Go a length and a quarter behind him. Now, Full Go is below moderate, very, very limited. Gabby touched on the form was of Yaes Burgess. Even franking that form line, Clyde, was Tartarus. He finished 4 lengths behind and he came out and ran second to Jimmy Don. So there's no doubt Burgess is going to be the money horse in the race if number 7 is not fancied, Ignatius. He's extremely well bred. If he's fancied, Clyde, he could be anything and he could make a winning
Well,
debut.
I spoke to Johan. He says, Johan van Vieren, and he said to me that not expecting anything major, but lovely horse and expecting it to be running on, So it's quite interesting. Although if the field's not that strong, these type of horses can win. So you just got to watch.
Lovely horse. That says it all, Clyde. It's good enough to make a winning debut.
Yeah. So what's your first choice, Daryl?
Of the race runners, no doubt Burgess.
Okay. Let's get to the action. That's third race. So let's get our bets up. This is what our plan is. We're first going with Darren Burrows as place accumulator. 5, 8, 9, by 2 and 8, by 3, 6, 16, by 4 and 6, by 3 and 4, by 2 and 3. And then right at the back, he's found number 1. He's bankered that. Don't forget to take your camera, hold it up to that scan code, scan your bet. In you go, takes you straight to the URL, and your bet is up. We're spending 144, but you can spend whatever you guys want to. Gabriel Somers worked out for us. He's got a place accumulator, Gab. So just having a look at your particular perm with a cost of approximately, well, it's exactly 18 Rand. That's your kind of play, isn't it?
Correct, Cloud. As I've always said, I like to take small PAs. If the punters do fancy anything else through those legs, they're more than welcome to add to it. But there's 3 horses the first leg because we're not quite sure of the first timers. I've put the 3 raced runners. Banker in the next leg, Madam Vicky, another banker, our value bet integrate. Then we've got a couple of horses in the next 2 legs and then 2 bankers to end off the day, but pretty confident that it's not going to be too tough a day.
Too tough a day. Okay, that's good. That's the latest news from Waiter to Win. Get those bets on. On to race number 4 now. This is important because it's the pick 6 time and Maiden Plate fillies and mares. They run them up the straight. And in terms of the pick 6, 10 past 2 is the starting time. Market-wise, we have an odds-on favourite in here called Aerolina, who's at 7 to 10 the last time we had a look. Madame Vicky is 5 to 2 is the second choice. Then you've got 6 to 1 about La Banquera, and then I think 9 or 10's about this first time at Tsitsikama Pearl, Erica Vidanese, who had a winner in the week, who's currently around 9, 10 to 1. Double figures about everything else. Market-wise, Gabs, have they read it correctly?
Yes and no, Clyde. Aerolina ran a good race on debut, but my biggest concern is that she was scratched, I think, a couple of weeks back for coughing, and that's a major concern. And number 2 is the main danger in the race is Madam Vicky, or in the betting, I should say. And she comes out of probably the strongest 2-year-old filly's maiden form line in the country.
Is that so?
Correct. And she only got beat 5 lengths. There was a lot of money for her that day. She got left. She got interfered with at a crucial stage of the race at around the 300. So I make her a hard horse to beat, actually. And I think 5 to 2 is a decent price because she'll definitely shorten. And I do think Aerolina would drift. I'm not saying Aerolina can't win because her form line's also quite decent. The third horse came out to run second yesterday. But once there are issues with coughing, etc., I would prefer, a bit nervous. It definitely will affect them. I'm definitely going to go on to Madam Vicky and I'm going to have a nice bet on her.
Okay, well, that's interesting. The form, for those of you who don't know, I can tell you Flower, that Gabs is referring to. Flower Bomb, the second horse, Daryl, 1. Third horse, Lady of Power, 1. Fourth horse, what's it called? Rari Gold come to win. And then Second Breath come to run a drum later on, who was finished further downfield. So you also as keen?
Claude, there's some line of form over here through Silver Mensa because Lady of Power, but I'm not reading too much into that because Silver Mensa on that day did choke up. But Clyde, there's no doubt the value is with Madam Vicky. She was expected to run a forward race on debut. A lot went wrong. It was a big field. The occasion was just too much for her, and I think she's going to come on in leaps and bounds. You touched on the market over here. The market's wrong, Clyde. La Banquera, you said 6 to 1.
Yeah.
That should be 25 to 1. This one's for Titch. I'm offering 25 to 1. Give me a call.
Titch is on our side. He's doing our movies now. Eh? He's doing our clips.
He's giving us exposure. We need some more of it, Titch. We need some more of it.
Okay.
But yes, the anti-post value is with Madam Vicky. I think she's gonna improve on what she's shown today. And a healthy respect for Aerolina. You know, she's a well-bred filly. She was far from disgraced on debut, shot a lot of pace, and she could also come on in leaps and bounds. But I'm leaning towards the 8 just because of the value.
Values on the side of Madame Vicky. Let's get our pick 6s up here, ladies and gents. This is what we're doing. We're going with the Turf Waiter to Win team are going 2 and 8, so they've covered there. And then 3, 5, 6, 13, 14, 16. They don't like the third leg at all, the whole field. Then the fourth leg, they're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then 2 and 3. And at the back, 1, 4, 6. Now, it's a 3,456 Rand full unit perm. You can take that for 345 Rand to get 10%, or you can take it for whatever percent you really like. The minimum, of course, being 35 Rand to get 8%. Gabriel Somers got a pick 6 worked out for us as well. And Gabs, you got the banker, comes up quite early.
Yeah, the banker's early. I mean, we've gone light in the first leg, as we just discussed. I think it's a 2-horse race. The next leg is the value bets on the day we're bankering. Then I found the next 2 legs quite difficult. They're small field, so we're going field. Another 2 horses in the 8th race and 3 horses in the back. Add where you feel you need to add.
And a nice affordable pick 6 to 864 Rand. First leg of the pick six, race number 4. Please get on before 2:10. Race number 5, let's get on to this classified stakes of 1,100 metres. I can tell you that from a betting perspective, it's an open race. They bet 4 or 5 to 1 the field. Well, to be honest, 5 to 1 directly. And Integrate's top of the boards. Gabriel Soma's in the studio, of course, nephew of Joseph Soma. Give us an idea as to what Joe thinks and what he thinks. Don't forget, we're on Twitter at Waiter to Win, or on WhatsApp or 4racing.tv. Please join us. We're lovely to have you and hear your opinion as to what you think we should be doing. Hopefully we're doing it more right than wrong. It's not easy, let me tell you, to find winners race by race. Right, Gabriel?
No, it's definitely.
You guys study many hours. It's tough.
Takes time, takes effort, and yeah, it's hard. But we found a value bet here, or I found a value bet here at 5 to 1. I think it's a decent price. Is Joe's horse Integrate. So I haven't spoken to Joe about what he thinks of the horse for tomorrow. But what I can tell you is last time he was very, very unlucky. He has boxed for a run a number of times. And in my opinion, he should have definitely won that race. With a bit of luck in running, I think he'll be a hard horse to beat here.
There are a couple in here that were in the same class. So on a like-for-like basis, the quality of the field much the same, right?
I would think so, Clyde. I mean, there's 1 or 2 horses that don't come from that form line, like Pinda, Mzala, that can be included. But of the horses that ran behind coming in hot, there were 1 or 2 other unlucky stories in the race, and Daryl will touch on them now. But for me, Integrate was the unlucky horse in the race, and I think he'll take all the beating.
Very confident in is Gabby with regards to Integrate. So there were 1 or 2 perhaps other stiff stories, so to speak, Daryl?
Yes, Clyde, Integrate was desperately unlucky. I'm expecting him to reverse that form with Written in Stone. Now, Written in Stone also holds Back to Basics in the same form line, but Back to Basics was another one that got was the meat in the sandwich and had to switch out and came on extremely late. So I think the race is going to be dominated by Integrate and Back to Basics. I do believe they both represent value at their current price.
Your Back to Basics is 16 to 1.
Yeah, and I think they're going to both shorten in the market. So
Edward Longshanks was the horse that hung. Was it? Am I right?
Edward Longshanks, he's got a
right.
chance.
What horse was that hung across?
I'm not sure who the horse was, but I can tell you the jockey was Pierre Stradom. Because I remember swearing him that day while it was happening.
Okay,
Was it
while he
Feather
moved
the Nest?
across.
I think it could have been. Yes.
Okay.
That's
Who
correct.
was it? What did you
Yes,
say?
that's correct.
Who?
Feather the Nest.
Feather. Oh, well, there you go. Feather the Nest. St. John Gray. So you wouldn't be too happy about that. But nevertheless, that's fine. We worked out what our players, in terms of value, guys. We found it. Here we go. We're going with Gabriel Soma's Integrate. Have a strike on that each way. It's his value recommendation. And we've got our jackpot worked out for you now. This is what it looks like in terms of jackpot 1. We're going 3, 5, 6, 13, 14, 16 by field by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 2 and 3 at the back. That's a 576 Rand per. Welcome back. We're on to race number 6 now. This is a handicap over the 1,000 metres. And so this is not an easy race, this particular event. I can tell you, market-wise, 5 to 2, it's about time. Might be a bit short in the market. I don't know. I'll ask the guys what they think. 7 to 2, Quite a Trip. 7 to 2, Goliath Heron. 7 to 2, Casa Inverno. 6 to 1, Big Eyed Girl. And 10 to 1, Twice as Splendid, Gabriel. Market right? Or should they be bidding 4 to 1 the field in a race?
No. I think the market's pretty much right. It's About Time's a very consistent horse. He's a decent sprinter, and he definitely has a winning chance. It's a very open race, Clyde. 8 horses in the field, and I think 6 or 7 of them have winning chances on form. So I would go as wide as possible. In my pick 6, I've gone field, and I suggest that punters do the same. Goliath Heron has to be a massive runner. Samanga takes a ride now, and the man's riding like he's possessed. He is a top-class rider, and he just brings that X factor to the table. So he could make the difference in a race like this. And then Quite a Trip is your class horse in the race and has to be respected.
Covered it well. I mean, Daryl, you got anything to add to that?
Yes, Clyde, Quite a Trip's been contesting condition races. He's been far from disgrace, back in a handicap, back up the straight. I know he's held on that turffontein inside run, but in my opinion, he's better up the straight. And Gavin gets a good tune out of him. I think he'll be right there at the finish. And then Twice as Splendid. Now, a few runs back, I think 5 runs back, he was under sufferance. He picked up a hefty penalty on that occasion. But since then, he's been holding his form well. And I know the 5 furlongs might be on the touch on the sharp side for him, but he'll be doing good work late.
It's interesting because let me tell you what's going on as we're speaking. They're shortening twice as splendid into 7-1. I think it was 10. So how's that for it's Friday.
And Clyde, there is a scratching of your Spanish.
Oh, is that
boy
what's
out.
happened?
Yes.
Who scratched? No, that
Spanish.
that was
So
before.
your money's just short.
No, that was before. This is after Spanish boy scratching.
Can I get some of that 10
It's
to 1 from
unreal.
you
We're
then?
talking about it in a shortens, and here we are on the show. But it is what it is. That's fine. Get the money. Let's hope we want to win. That's what it's all about, really. We're going with this horse here. Jackpot's 2. Field. The guys have said it's open. There's a number of horses in there with chances. And maybe you want to put the scratching in just in case the tight favourite wins. By 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. By 2, 3. By 1, 4, 6. It's a 288 Rand jackpot. On to race number 7. This is over the mile. I can tell you they bet 4-1 the field. Yeah, Humble Tune, desperately unlucky last time. Short heads in it. Candice Dawson, Samanga Kamala team up 4-1. Sir Talon is the second choice, number 3, who's at 9-2. 9-2 the 5 coming in hot. And then 5-1 a horse like Mkabizi. Okay, so this particular race, let me go to Gabriel. I'll start with you first, Gabs. Again, it's one of those I suppose, open races. These horses have been around time and time again. You know, I keep saying to Daryl, these kind of races, you run the race 10 times over, you get 10 results. Correct. Different results, perhaps.
Very possible, Clyde. It's another, as you just mentioned, very open race. You get the 2-year-olds now coming into these type of races, which makes it even more difficult. Personally, at this time of the year, I don't really like backing the 2-year-olds against the older horses or the hard-knocking older horses. But I think you've got to put a horse like Electric Gold in because he could be better than what he's currently rated. Quattro Passi won a very good race last time, and just on the way he won, I think he could follow up again, and he's probably the horse to beat. Sir Talon has to be a massive runner if you bring some of his best form to the table, and then don't leave out Humble Tune and Coming in Hot, who are both in good form.
Number of horses in here. Gabriel's touched on quite a few of them. Is there something else out there?
It's open event, Clyde. You know that Humble June, last time I'd say, was very unlucky. I mean, heads up, heads down. He did pick up a £3 penalty for running second, but he's a galloper, so he runs his best races when up on the pace. And the stable's in good form. Likewise with number 3 Coming in Hot. Now he battled early on. Obviously, since being fitted with a tongue tie, he's come to form. He's also strengthened up since that time off the track. And Gavin knows him better. We'll see how he goes over this trip because he is unexposed. And then the 2-year-old Clyde, Electric Gold. I know his form line's very poor. He only beats Parker Getrix, who's moderate in himself. But Clyde, one thing about Electric Gold is he's a solid son of Flying the Flag. He's got substance about him. I like what I see, and he could have a lot more to offer. I know many times we've seen a Paul Peter horse with not the strongest of form lines, and we play to beat them next time out, but they tend to keep on improving, and he could just fall into that category.
Is too much weight for Secret as Ours, in your opinion?
I was very disappointed with his last start.
That's why I said they've dropped it to the mile now.
Yeah, he's got claims on his best form.
Actually, the form's worked out very well, eh?
I prefer others, though.
I mean, can I just quote these horses to you, because you boys will know it better. Jamila 1, Elusive Swan 1, maybe not that strong, but 5th of July, Arlington Action, Humble Tune, all come to run decent sort of races. So I don't know, too much weight.
No, look, he's got the Apprentice claiming 2.5, so he's only got 59.5, and he's definitely dropped in a division. So he's definitely a big runner.
All right, well, let's go to selections, guys. You've heard it from the boys, and this is what we're doing. We're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's as straightforward as that, really. It's a trifecta. We're boxing it, 120 Rand. Take your phone, go to camera, hold it up to the code. The URL will pop up. Hopefully you've registered with Tab 4 Racing, and all you got to do is press Take the Bet. This is a 1400 race 8. Welcome back to Waiter to Win, and runs at 25 past. Market-wise, they've got Lucy in the Sky at 28-10 that Gavin Larena is riding for the Brett Weber stable. Got to have a big chance. Gabriel, I'm looking at the market now. There's support or a little bit of pressure for one horse, Mill Queen. They're coming for Mill Queen early. Like it?
She's got a chance, Clyde. She's a quality filly, always has been. And in this type of a divided race, she's got to be respected. Samanga takes the ride, and as I mentioned previously, the man's riding like a star. But I make it a race in 2. I make it between Anne Boleyn and Crimson Princess. My first choice is Crimson Princess, Clyde. She brings some very nice Cape Town form into the race. She's having a second run after a rest, but what I do like about it, her first run here was in a plate race. She now comes into a handicap with 53.5 off draw 2. The race could plan out for her beautifully, and she's definitely a big runner. And Boleyn comes in off draw 1. She's been coming in off bad draws recently, and she's got good form. Off draw 1, she's a filly that will be right there. I'm confident to go 2 horses in all your bets. I think they'll get you through.
I suppose with Crimson, I mean, Alabama Anna's not a bad horse, right? I mean, she's quite decent.
Yeah, Claude, if she's not in need of one more outing, she's going to give Anne Boleyn a run for her money. I make Anne Boleyn the filly to beat. She's got good early toe, and this time around from one draw, she's not going to have to exert any energy to get into the perfect position. She's having a peak run. I think a lot in is her favour, and I make her the filly to beat. I've got respect for Crimson Princess. She's run against some decent sorts in the Cape. If the fast 7 furlongs doesn't catch her out, she'll be doing good work late. And then obviously Lucy in the Sky, Clyde. Gavin gets on extremely well with her. We've seen that form line being franked with From Yay to Eternity, winning from there. The 2nd, 3rd and 4th have all placed in their next starts. She likes to be given a chance early and come with a late rattle, but she's going to have to have her A game to go and fetch Anne Boleyn because she's super fit and she might just keep finding.
Thank you for that. Okay, well, Mark's chick hasn't run for a while. We know she's got ability, may just need the run, but perhaps she's a shrewdie for the trifectas and quartets. Let's get to the selections. This is what we're going to do, guys. In this particular event, we plan on taking the following swinger with Anne Boleyn, Lucy in the Sky, but make note that Gabriel has brought our attention to number 7, Crimson Princess. Homeward bound now. This is the divided handicap. It's at the 77 level. They're going over the 1,400 meters. Pace and draw matters in a race like this. In terms of the market, I can tell you that they've got this horse currently 2-1, 22-10, called Emerald Princess, number 1 on the card. Second choice, number 4, Special Variety, 3-1. 6.5-1, number 2, Golden Aspen. 8-1, number 5, Divine Dynasty. Early betting. And then 12s and better about a horse like Princess Philippa. Gabriel Soma's with us. If you've just joined us, good to have you, Gabs. And is there a shrewdie in here in the last that you like?
I think it is a shrewdie, Clyde. It's 3-1, but I think it should be a lot shorter than that. So if you're in trouble on the day, get out of it. If you're winning on the day, put the money down. Special Variety, number 4. I can guarantee you this filly is better than rated. She's been looking for the 1,400. They tried a 1,400 once in a plate race up the Vaal Straight. She ran well above rating. They've tried her in a plate race prior to that. She ran well above her rating. But what she's looking for is 1,400, if not further, and she's looking for the bend. And off draw 4, I think she'll take all the beating. And like I say, you can have a go.
Very, very, very confident. Nice to hear that. You got the same fighting talk?
Have you got that rubber stamp there, Clyde?
I'm having a look.
Can rubber stamp it.
Yeah, it's got. What's your...
that run over the 7 furlongs at the Vaal, she didn't get cover. Things really didn't map out for her on that occasion. She's much better than that. I think she's going to get some lovely cover from a neat draw. Clyde, here's a fillies and mares handicap. You have to look at fillies that are ahead of the handicapper or ones that have dropped enough to be competitive. And here's a filly that's got a lot more to offer. Yeah. We haven't seen the best of her. So she certainly is the filly to beat. But I do have respect for Emerald Princess. Now, I'll tell you why, Clyde. Last time out, I know her victory wasn't impressive. I thought she was all out at the finish. But I don't think the draw favoured her on that occasion. I think she's a better filly ridden for cover. She was exposed a long way out last time out. She was there to be shot at, and she fended them off. She was quite game in her victory. And since joining the Paul Peter yard, she's going about her business the right way. But she's going to have to be at her A game to lock horns with a Special Variety. I make Special Variety the filly to beat.
Okay, so you're both on it. That's interesting.
And just with regards to the form line of Emerald Princess, I think 2 winners from there. Let There Be Light and Golden Aspen. So her form line has been franked, but leaning towards the 4 over the 1.
Okay. Well, that's it. Special Variety. Confidence is there. That's great to hear. This is what we're doing. We should be striking this horse, but the play is Emerald Princess, Special Variety, and Princess Philippa. 146 are our exactors. That's the 9th race. Thanks so much, guys, for watching Waited to Win this Saturday afternoon. Thanks for the team out at the back there, to Cameron, Pietri, Shannon, Wayne, Urash, all that you guys who you know, Dom, everybody, thanks for putting the show on. Long may it continue, and let's hope we continue to win.